In this video, I will be discussing the main facts and holdings of the 1992 case of Conagra Incorporated and McCain Foods Australia Pty Ltd. This case raises two important questions of law. Firstly, it discusses whether it is necessary that a plaintiff carry on business in Australia to maintain an action. Secondly, it examines the significance of fraudulent intention of a defendant. Passing off can be summarised into three elements, as per the case of Reckitt and Coleman. Firstly, the plaintiff must have established goodwill or reputation attached to the goods or services. Secondly, a misrepresentation by the defendant to the public leading them to believe their goods are the goods of the plaintiff. And thirdly, that the plaintiff suffers or is likely to suffer damage by this misrepresentation. There is no strict definition of what constitutes the tort of passing off. However, Justice Gamau notes that the law of passing off contains sufficient nooks and crannies to make it difficult to formulate any satisfactory definition in short form. The facts of this case are as follows. The appellant, Conagra Incorporated, is a United States company who manufactures and markets frozen foods under a number of brand names, including the name relevant to this case, Healthy Choice. The concept of the product Healthy Choice originated in September 1985 following a heart attack of the company's CEO. The name Healthy Choice resulted in 1987 with the packaging design formulated so that the product would stand out from all others and will communicate the nutritional claims of low fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Trademark registration was sought and obtained for the mark Healthy Choice in connection with a number of food items. The respondent, McCain Foods Australia Pty Ltd, commenced operations in Australia in 1968, selling imported French fries, which later turned to producing frozen pizzas and vegetables, and in 1987 moved to manufacturing frozen food dinners. Conagra sued McCain in the court, claiming damages and injunctive relief for the alleged passing off and misleading and deceptive conduct. Justice Hill found that the tort of passing off requires the existence of a business in Australia, and as Conagra had no business in Australia, its claim failed. Secondly, he found that no one seeing the McCain product would believe that they were purchasing a product from Conagra. Conagra appealed the court's initial decision, which raised the two following points. Firstly, whether it is necessary to sustain the tort of passing that the plaintiff's trade or business is in fact carried on within the jurisdiction, or whether it is sufficient that there is a reputation within the jurisdiction in respect of that trade or business carried on elsewhere. Secondly, the significance of fraudulent intention of a defendant. On appeal, it was found that firstly, it is not necessary that a plaintiff, to maintain a passing off action, must have a place of business in Australia or that the goods are sold here. It is necessary, however, to establish that the goods have the requisite reputation in the jurisdiction, that there is a likelihood of consumer deception and damage to the reputation. Where the owner of the goods has no reputation in a jurisdiction, the law of passing off does not confer protection, otherwise they would have an international monopoly. It was not satisfied that there existed at the time a reputation in Australia in respect of the Conagra's Healthy Choice product, as there was not a substantial number of Australians aware of such a product. Therefore, the McCain product did not convey any misrepresentation. Secondly, proof of fraud on the behalf of the defendant assists the plaintiff to prove that the infringer would not have copied the goods unless it provided an advantage. However, a plaintiff cannot acquire an international monopoly of reputation by proving fraud. As already discussed, Conagra failed to prove it held a reputation in Australia. Therefore, they cannot sustain a claim for passing off, even if fraudulent conduct on behalf of McCain is proved. Therefore, Conagra's appeal was dismissed and Conagra was ordered to pay the costs of McCain.